Welcome, Heisters. Due to recent changes in the game, as of version 1.30 and onward, my old Dodge build is out of date, so I'm making this video to update you and give you an overview of what's helpful to help you stay alive on Deathwish and above. You'll notice here I picked a quick fix. It's to make your doctor's bags be deployed faster and help you interact with deploy them faster. Do not choose uppers because first aid kits do not reset your down count, they only restore your health, so they're not very helpful. Despite having 14 of them, they're not helpful. I would say go for doctor's bags. You're definitely going to want Inspire because it's a lot quicker to pick someone up with Inspire, just shouting at them than, running out into the street to help them. Although there is a cooldown on it, unfortunately, so you're going to have to wait. I also have Forced Friendship, basic, because extra cable ties can come in handy for if you're doing, like, say, there's two trophies where you need to have like a certain amount of hostages, stealing Xmas as well as private party, I believe on no, not party, but it's on what's the heist? I can't remember the heist name. It's on nightclub. Sorry, you have to get 12 hostages on the dance floor, so you'll want to have that. Whether you're doing it loud or stealth, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna want to have that skill. Don't bother acing it because it's not very helpful. I have all 4 of these skills here: Partners in Crime, Stockholm Syndrome, Confident, and Joker aced. You do not have to ace Stockholm Syndrome, but if you do have it aced, it can come in handy in a pinch, because if your whole team, including you, goes into custody and you have at least 1 hostage still remaining, you are able to trade yourself once per heist. Even if there's an assault going on, you can automatically trade yourself as long as there's a hostage. So that skill's really handy. It is optional, but it is very handy. Hostage taker is also optional, but I use it because it gives me health regeneration since I'm using the rogue perk deck, which I'll show you later. Resilience, you're definitely going to want to ace because reduced flashbangs. Transporter's optional as well. You don't have to have it. Because sometimes you need to throw bags up and over things. It can be helpful. I didn't have it previously, and it made it difficult to throw bags up high. Now, also drill skills. I have under Breacher, Hardware Expert, and Drill Sergeant aced. These are both optional. You can actually go up the engineer tree instead and go to Jack of all trades here and ace that, which will give you 2 deployables. Your primary, you'll have 2. Your secondary, you'll have 1. But that can be helpful if you do 2 doctor's bags. And if you go into Enforcer, you can actually you don't even have to go to Enforcer, but you can have like 2 doctor's bags and 1 ammo bag, which can come in handy. So it's completely optional whether you want to go for the drill skills or for the Jack of all trades. Personally, I prefer the drill skills because sometimes you need them. And with Drill Sergeant, it's a 30% chance to auto restart by itself, which you might want that for heists like Safe House Nightmare, which there's oh my gosh, sometimes you get so many cloakers you don't even want to go out there and try to restart the drill, so it's better to have that for, say, a heist like that. And for the transports as well, can be helpful because most of them you're going to have snipers on, so if the drill restarts by itself, you can stay in cover. Wait for the vans to open. There, now, onto the dodge skills. Duck and cover. Ace this, you'll have a higher chance of dodge. Second wind, you don't have to, but it can be helpful to sprint to cover, because when your armor goes down, you can actually sprint faster. Optical illusion is also very helpful for dodge, 35% likely to be targeted by 35% less likely to be targeted by enemies. And this is the rest of my dodge here. I got 9 lives. You got 50% extra bleed out, and you also get 1 extra down before going into custody. Normally you have 3 downs before your screen turns gray. This gives you an additional one, but when your screen turns gray, you're going to have to use a doctor's bag to reset your down count. Which is what I was saying about Mastermind. You want doctor's bags instead of first aid kits. If you're using first aid kits, make sure you don't let yourself get down. If your health gets, say, 3/4 down, then you'd want to use your first aid kit to reset your health. That way you don't get down too many times. Swan Song Aced gives you 3 seconds, increases your thing by 3 seconds, and you can have infinite ammo. It's not very long, but still, it can be helpful. Like, say if you're getting like if the dozer's just sprinting at you, you can just like spam him and kill him really quickly. You don't have to ace it, but the basic does not have the infinite ammo, so I was just acing it if you can. Feign Death is also very helpful. You don't have to have it, but it is very helpful because you have 30%. No, actually I think it's yeah, you get a 45% chance of actually getting up after going down. Doesn't happen every time, but it can be very helpful. And Messiah is also very helpful. You don't have to ace it, but you'll only get 1 charge per heist. So I suggest acing if you can, because when you ace it, every time you use Doctor's Bag, if you used your charge, it gets replenished, so you can use it again. As for weapons, personally I use Jacket's Piece modded for, like, see my stats here. It's got shitty accuracy because it's a submachine gun, so I tried to boost that as much as I could. And I guess I've got something for my skills to increase the damage a little bit. I was previously using Specialized Killing, but Specialized Killing has been removed, and now it's called the High Priority Target, which is marked enemies receive more damage, which used to be in Mastermind, so I don't use suppressors anymore in my weapons. And then for my primary, I've got the Thanatos with the heavy damage. The stability isn't great, but it's good for killing specials, especially dozers. If you shoot them in the face, it only takes a couple of shots usually to kill them. Now, weapons are completely up to you. Like, I've seen people doing good with the Akimbo Crank-Offs. Some people use, let me show you specials. I've seen people use like the rocket launcher. The Commando is from the Scarface pack, but it's a pretty good weapon. It can down dozers pretty easily. Usually the rocket launcher downs them in 1 shot, and it's okay. You can use that if you don't have DLC. China Puff is not bad either. I've seen people using that as well. I've also seen people using, I don't think it's the pistol crossbow, but I've seen people using like the crossbow, which I think is, let me see, I'll show you. It's under special. Not the light crossbow. I've seen people using the light crossbow, which is, it's actually pretty good because you can pick up your arrows again. And it downs dozers pretty quickly as well because of its, I don't know, I've seen people using it, but it's not for me. It is part of the Gauge Chivalry pack though, so it's DLC. Which I think you actually do need the DLC if you're going for 100%, so. Those are some options for you there. Secondary, you can also, I've heard people say the Chicago Type Raid is good if you mod it. I used to use actually like the Baby Deagle as well, but that's a Point Break item. I don't use it anymore though. I needed something that did decent damage but also had a good ammo pool, and I wanted to use Jacket's Piece because of the 80s calling on it. So, again, that's your weapon options. Perk decks. Oh, sorry, this is perk decks. Sorry. It's from Duke. I recommend Rogue for your if you're going to do dodge like I'm showing you here, because it increases your dodge if you've maxed it out. And with the Rogue, you want to run with the 2-piece suit. You notice I have plus 45 on my skills. That's because of my Rogue perk deck. As for throwables, they're all pretty good, but I just like the Molotov cocktails because it's useful for killing the captain when he shows up. I try to throw one at him so that it's like constantly burning the shield so it kills him quickly. Incendiary, which one is it? Yeah, incendiary is okay, but they don't do a lot of damage because it's not over time. It just explodes and then sets them on fire for like a short amount of time. You do get 8 of them, but generally they're not that great. They don't do that much damage. If you're gonna go with incendiary, I'd say maybe use Molotovs. Dynamite's not bad either. Javelin, I've heard, is pretty good for downing dozers as well. You can always go with HEF grenades too. What's the other one? Concussive grenades. I really hate when people use these around me because it makes like an echoing noise, and then your screen flashes. I really don't recommend using those because they can be very annoying to your teammates. So don't use those. I haven't actually tried out the Matryoshka yet, so that might be interesting. As for your melee, I would say use the electric brass knuckles. It is a free item, so you will have it for sure as long as you passed your game. Your other option would be the buzzer, which is from the Golden Grin, but like I said, you can use the electric brass knuckles. When you're trying to get jokers, if the guys aren't cooperating, you hit them once with the electric brass knuckles, and then if you shout at them again, you should be able to dom them. If they don't, just kill them and move on, because if it doesn't work the first time, you're not gonna be able to dom them. So just skip on, move on to the next one. And that is it for my dodge build. Hopefully I've been some help to you.